I'm walking alone under the neon lights, in a city where I feel like a ghost at night. No one understands my wild, untamed soul. In this world I'm just a stranger, a whole. But I won't conform, I'll let my spirit fly. In this rebel heart, I'm just who I am, you'll see. I'll stand tall, I'll break free. With a smile I'll defy. I've got my books and my dreams, my guitar and my fears. In this chaos I find my peace, my tears. I'll sing songs of my own, of the stars and the moon. In this life I'll dance until the sun. I'll wear my heart on my sleeve, it's bleeding and raw. In this crowd I'm just a whisper, a shadow, a draw. But when the night falls, I light up the sky. With my laughter I'll conquer the sky. I won't conform, I'll let my spirit fly. In this rebel heart, I'm just who I am, you see. I'll stand tall, I'll break free. With a smile, I'll define. And my dreams, my guitar and my fears. In this rebel heart, I'm yes who I am. You see, I'll stand tall, I'll break free. With a smile, I'll defy.
What about now? How's that? Happy Wednesday, everyone. How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing? Hope everyone is having a great and amazing Wednesday. Welcome in, everyone. I can't complain. Even if I did, it would not change a thing. Would not change a thing. Just been very, 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 very busy today. But otherwise, I'm doing well. How about y'all? How are y'all doing today? I'm doing relatively decently. I'm doing relatively decently. Quite literally figure I'd go ahead and jump on everything. Friday is going to be fun. Because the Pokemon Day is early Friday morning. So, quite literally, watching the whatever happens during that is going to be hilarious because it's the 30th anniversary, as every single millennial just felt old. Ooh, what kind of cheese are you using, Cosmic? Bum 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 bum. Vegan pepper jack because I felt like spice. Nice. Nice. Fair enough. Thank you for the follow, Wolf Stannis. I greatly appreciate it over on Facebook. Yeah, so one of the things that I've been putting together is a list of red flags in polyamory. And so I put to my bulletin board, what are some things that people wish they knew more about polyamory? And oh boy, the answers are kind of damn. I mean, they're valid answers, but damn. Like, while thruples are not that common, is one of them. Um, what was another one? That does not change how I love or care for everyone in my life. Just because I say I love you does not mean I think we are dating. Sup, paramedic? Cosmic, I used to be in a thruple. Yeah, the the fact that there are so many people that believe closed thruples are the the goal of polyamory confuses and irritates the shit out of me. Because I know mainly it's from media representation. But quite literally, one of the things that I thank you for the follow, Brett, over on Facebook. I greatly appreciate it. One of the things that I sit there and I talk about is that when you are starting your journey on being polyamorous, you have to deconstruct a lot of things. Everyone knows this, so and even in therapy, you have to deconstruct a lot of things and working through things. Sup, Dwayne? So, quite literally, one of the things that I kind of just shake my head at is there was someone on TikTok who have been polyamorous for God. They claim they have been polyamorous for over 8 years, like approaching a decade, but not a decade yet. And they're like, I just want my harem. I'm like, huh, huh, harem. Well, that's another way of saying OPP or OVP. Yeah, it was like someone tagged me in a Facebook reel on on someone's on someone's Facebook reel. I can't remember who it was, and the Facebook reel says, my toxic trait is I want to find a woman to share with my husband. I'm like, eh. And then was in the comments claiming that polyamory is closed triads, that everyone has to be dating everyone, and that swinging is when you can have relationships that aren't integrated into your other partners. I went, oh, you're a special kind of stupid, aren't you? No, that's not what it means. It's not. Swinging is derived from the kink community, which is why it's called the lifestyle. Come on. Please. Just, Yeah, it's been a day. You okay, love? You have the pain face. I meant the headache pain face. But yeah, so like I'm just sitting there, I'm seeing this, and it's not just on Facebook. I'm seeing it on TikTok. I'm seeing it on YouTube. And I'm just like, and there's so many comments of, people going, oh, I can't wait to find our queen, or I can't wait to find another female to join us. And I'm just like, tell me you haven't read, interacted with any of the polyam community without telling me you haven't interacted, read, or participated in discussions. What? Yep. And the thing is that the the thing is that when it comes to a pants free community, when it comes to a pants free community, because is not outwardly sexualized, but swinging is, I think that would be having a hard time changing that verbiage. Welcome in, Manaru. And thanks for the follow up. But yeah, I think, and this is just my feeling on it, is that having been in the kink community, thank you for the follow, Jamie. I greatly appreciate it. For going on 20 years, for 2 decades, and anytime I've heard the lifestyle, like, it's usually in reference to the kink community at first. Then it was slowly moved towards the swinging community because swingers tend to be a little bit more public. Boo back, Lily. So I don't foresee I don't foresee the pants free community fully reclaiming that term, because there are several pants free communities that are also upside down pineapple communities. And that's a commonality that is seen in multiple places. And the thing is that quite literally, one of the things that a lot of people seem to not understand when it comes to polyamory is, like, one person in my comments on TikTok literally was like, "You can't cheat in polyamory." I'm like, "Are you stupid?" Yes. Yes, you can. Pretty sure my stream died. It it said online state changed, which is why Angelic Kitty, what the fuck, my ex cheated on me and his second partner. Yeah, it's a commonality that a lot of people fully there's two sides of the coin. There's two sides of the coin, and it sounds asinine, but having dealt with becoming a creator and a content creator slash educator, which I don't know how that happened to this day, but still, um, a lot of people will either say, one, you can't cheat in polyamory, or two, polyamory is just cheating with extra steps. Thank you for the follow, Judy. I greatly appreciate it. And when it comes to a lot of the discourse that I see, every time someone finds out, and I've heard it being said to Babyface, when Babyface has stated, "Yeah, I'm polyamorous," or anything, someone has straight up said, "Oh, I can't do that. I'm too jealous." I'm like, why is jealousy the emotion you want to defend? Yeah.
The notification sounds are way louder than we are.
Do 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 do. Where is the alert box? Ba 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 ba. How about this? Let's see here. Do 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 do. Ba 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 ba. Manage on the web. Plug in to Streamlabs. Alert box. Global editing. Apply to all alerts. There we go. Much better. So, but quite literally, it's one of the things that I sit there and have to go, why defend? Why do you want to defend jealousy? And then you have to take it a step further. What do you get out of defending jealousy? And one of my good friends, when I talked to him about it years ago, um, was unmanaged jealousy always ends up equaling control. And over the years, watching the community, watching, people that have, extremely jealous feelings, that have a hard time working through them, everything, I can see where he would get that viewpoint. But he's also a victim of a narcissistic partner. So I get that. Yeah. It's complete sarcasm. Fun times. Fun. Oh yeah, my first ex-wife as well. But also was physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive. On top of, the military's abuse. Because one of the things that, since we have a lot of veterans in here, um, I was sitting there watching, and I was watching TikTok, and one of the veterans that I follow, he's like, one of the hardest things to deal with is, after getting out of the military, is trying to overcome the training that they put us through. And because quite literally, and here's a view behind the veteran facade that a lot of people don't see. Brainwashing. Yup. Um so a lot of people here and will hear and mix up psychopathy and sociopathy. Okay? It's pretty common. But psychopathy is a genetic disorder. It is in your genetics. Sociopathy is learned. Okay? Now, all my veterans and veteran spouses, because Lynette has heard me rant about this before. Um, every former military rates on the sociopathy scale. Every single member of the military, whether active duty, reserve, National Guard, currently enlisted, former enlisted, if you've been through basic training, whether anything else, like even if you didn't make it fully through basic training, you still have that training in you. And one of the key tells, oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Lily. They tell Jer he leans more towards psychopathy. That so psychopathy, if you are schizophrenic, you're considered a psychopath. Um, but one of the common traits that is both on the sociopathy scale and the psychopath scale is the lack of empathy towards human life, and or not homicidal ideations, but thoughts. And every veteran I've ever met, and this always makes me giggle, but also kind of makes me step back, is every single veteran I know, when you walk into a room, what's the first thing you do? If any of you, if any of you sat there and said, find the exits, lay of the land, pick a corner. Now, Jer has been out for I'm pretty sure coming up on a quarter of a century, 25 years, right? I've been out for almost 20 years. And to this day, if I meet someone new, everything, first thought in my mind is, how do I make sure that this person, if they become a threat, are no longer a threat? Thank you for the lurk, Angel. And the thing is that this training, pretty much, this training does not leave you. All right? It's one of the reasons why, quite literally, there's an entire mental health disorder from separating from the military because you are having trouble reintegrating into society. Part of that reintegration is not being a sociopath, which, as we pointed out, being a veteran, being a former soldier or former seaman, or I'm not sure about the Air Force, but a former Marine, that is still there. Oh, 100%. 100%, especially since they're now trying to, take away, or they were attempting to take away, um, disability ratings if the meds helped you. Fuckers. Thank you for the follow, Ashley. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Why didn't I get the why didn't I get the notification for bits? Kind of annoyed now. Yeah, it didn't even show me on Stream Elements, which is sad. Lynette says Babyface looking all fine back there. Lily, I had to spend a lot of time in therapy before I made progress there. Yeah. Um, so my therapist sat there and was like, I'm surprised that they don't just try and, look at all of y'all at under PTSD. It may not be PTSD, but most veterans to grapple with the PTSD and the trauma of the brainwashing and deprogramming. Yeah, when I explained everything that happened to me while in the military, uh my therapist at the time went, "How are you stable?" I went, I'm unhinged, but stable's a point of view." Ouch. I love you. For those that missed that, because Babyface was behind my chair, Babyface said, "And denial is not just a river in Egypt." So fun little fact, my sergeant found out that I identify as pansexual, and she did not like that one bit. She was a person who grew up in Texas, everything, and like quite literally, she got any excuse she could to write me up repeatedly. Back then, it was I identify as bisexual though, because let's face it, growing up in the mountains of North Carolina, and at the time married to an extremely religious. Ugh. Thank you for the follow, Veronica, over on Facebook. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. But yeah, so quite literally, it's, you know, someone asked me, was like, why are you fine with playing video games like Call of Duty and Battlefield? I'm like, because one, it wasn't my MOS. There's a level of separation. I wasn't Black Ops. I wasn't infantry. No, 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 no. I was Patriot missiles. Like, and there are people that were infantrymen that play Call of Duty and Black Ops or Black Ops 7 or Battlefield 6 to kind of tone down their veteran reactions. That tracks. The biggest thing that kind of fucked with my head is our our first sergeant came out one day and was like, okay, each of the platoons, I'm going to ask a question and I need y'all to not yell it or yell the answers, just show of hands. And so he came up to each platoon with a single question: who has read the Anarchist Cookbook? And I was like, he goes, now before anyone tries to hide the fact that they've read it, before they try, realize that most of y'all have library cards. So if you ever checked out that book from a library or bought it, or someone in your family bought it, because of the MOS we're in, we know. I'm like, ah, shit. So I raised my hand. I was the only one. He goes, good. I'm glad to see that we're being truthful. And so I stepped forward and he's like, while we're deployed to Korea, I need you to work with the engineers for in case of a overrun situation. Yeah, that one fucked with me a bit because Jer will enjoy this. So the for overrun exercises, all right, it's in case your encampment or your field situation is being overran by enemy combatants. And because we were in Korea, pretty much, Lynette. Um, because we were in Korea, and we actually had a Katusa that turned out to be a North Korean spy. We found out, okay, which is why this became needed. Yeah. So quite literally, we had to have a meeting with an engineer to, make sure we understood, you know, this is Semtex. This is how you enable it, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, this is specifically for a overrun situation and you need to destroy the equipment. I'm like, oh, good. Oh, goody. And so they took the launcher dogs. They took headquarters. All right. and I was with two members of my platoon, and so the engineers came over to us and go, okay, how would you, with one block of Semtex, make sure to destroy, fry your vehicles where it is unable to be used? Now, most of my platoon were very much the oh sweet summer child. I, however, was not. Um, so I'm trying to think of a way. Yeah, I can state without. Okay, the Patriot missile system has a radar system. All right, it has. That's how it identifies planes, missiles, every anti-aircraft or anti-missile, so air and missile defense system has a radar system with it. Okay? So when the engineers asked, "Hey specialist, how would you do this?" I said, "Well, do you want the reasonable way or max damage way?" He goes, "Well, the reasonable way first." I said, "Okay, I would turn both generators on in the electrical power plant, take the Semtex, make sure they were both running on full octane, and plant the Semtex. No matter what, like if this is an overrun situation, get in my truck, hunker down, and the moment that they were getting close, press the button." Because for those that don't know, the power plant has two German diesel engines. That's so Semtex burns hot enough for diesel to, ignite. Ding ding ding. He's like, "Okay, if that's your quick fast, why that?" I'm like, "Well, one, because the generators are on, that causes an EMP burst. Any anything electrical is fried. So they could try to reverse engineer it all they want." Thank you for the follow, Jordan, over on Facebook. So that's the fun one. He goes, "Okay." I'm like, and plus there would be technically four explosions. There would be the Semtex itself, the aftershock from the shockwave, the flame from the Semtex blowing, the flame from the diesel blowing, and the EMP after. And they're like, "Jesus, that's impressive. Okay, what's your max damage one?" I'm like, "Okay, take that same block of Semtex, put it underneath the radar." Okay? Super, super simple. Turn the radar on. Now, most of y'all are going, "Okay, so you're microwaving your enemy." Yes. While the radar's on, blow the radar. What happens when you take a microwave and blow it up while it's on? That radiation gets pushed further out. So yeah, that was the max damage level. Also, if it gets hot enough, can mini nuke. All with Simtex and the radar on, it would be close, but not enough. It would deal enough radiation that basically anyone in the area would not enjoy the rest of their life. But also don't, then my job gets harder. Well, remember, paramedic, this was a overrun situation. If the field situation got into a overrun, that would be what would happen. Pretty much. And the thing is that quite literally, hi Spook. Spook, I sent you a DM that technically two DMs that I'm pretty sure you would appreciate. Oh no, like that's the thing, Lily, is that if it's an overrun situation, it's not running. It's accepting the fact that, well, this is the thing. So my humble choice came in, and one of the games in humble choice was date everything. And you are the one person that's in my Steam friends list that wants it, that does not have it. Yes, humble choice. For those that, you know, enjoy Steam games and everything, one Humble Bundle is one of my sponsors. Resident Evil Village is one of the games for this month, and you've got 3 days left to get it. Just FYI. Yes, Humble Bundle, the bundles, there's games, books, and software, but Humble Choice has 8 games per month that you get for $15 a month, or like $99 a year, something like that. My cat, your cat.
Yours.
Mm.
I thought about it. I almost let him in.
Demon NFL mode. Was that a yes?
No,
Mm.
not with me.
Mm. So one, I love Humble Bundle. All right, but I also thoroughly enjoy Fanatical, because Fanatical is basically Lynette saying that's why I'm lining up quote Devil in a Foul Mood. Um, Fanatical basically does the same thing with as Humble Bundle, but it has a lot more options. It has a lot more options than Humble Bundle. Like hold on, let me do 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 do. All right, let's play a game, shall we? So, um, let's add source, window capture, add source. All right, and then drop it behind. Okay. Cool. All right. Let me move this down so it's a little bit easier. All right. So with Fanatical. All right. So specifically, this is my reference. So like anyone who goes to Fanatical and uses that, it helps me. Just FYI. So let's look at game bundles. All right. So right now, Humble Bundle has like 5. Absolutely. You're welcome, Lily. So Fanatical Favorites, Mystery Star Bundle, which this one's fun, VIP Mystery Bundle. So let's take a look here. All right. You can choose however many games you want. So if you choose 3, you pay $10. If you choose 7 or more, it's basically $2.85 per game. And there's a bunch. All right. Same thing. That was the Platinum. This is the Fanatical Favorites. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. Is this game trying to kill me? Kona 2, Steel Rising, Bastille Edition. Like, some of these are really good games. Monument Valley Double Pack, so 1 and 2. Like, and then you have Book Bundle, Shoujo Manga, Pathfinder 2nd Edition books. Thank you for the follow, Evelyn. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Ultimate Graphics and Design Build Your Own Bundle. C Sharp and .NET Development Build Your Own Bundle. Essential Programming Languages. Like, this is just in the books. Then, this is where it gets better. Software. All new game sound effects bundle. Sci-fi fantasy Soundforge royalty-free music and sound effects bundle. Soundscapes. ChatGPT and chatbots build your own video bundle. Cloud and network certification e-learning bundle. New skills. Tech and cybersecurity. Cisco network certification training. Godot programming. CompTIA certification. Python programming, Gen AI, Unity, Microsoft Office e-learning, your own online business, Easy Game Engine e-learning, Unreal programming. So the Unreal Engine. This is a $400 set of software for $9.99. Look at this. Easy Game Engine e-learning. So, like, some of this is ridiculous. And this is software. All right, and then because this is where it gets even better, upcoming games. Resident Evil Requiem for the deluxe edition. That's almost $15 off right there. Almost $10. $5. Almost $15 for Monster Hunter Stories 3. Like several of these, and the even better part, the reason why I like it is you can wish list. All right? Now, the difference between this wish list and Steam wish list is, unlike Steam, you can come to your wish list here, all right, and immediately share your wish list like so. And anyone who has the link can see your wish list as well as buy things for you off that game wish list. But the other part of it, and the reason why I really appreciate Fanatical, is you can also add the software bundles to your wish list. Same thing with book bundles. It's not just games. Like, you can look at VR games, JRPG, like it has it broken down. So, yeah, like quite literally, it's the reason why, like, and their Bundle Fest is going on right now, where they're launching a new bundle every 24 hours. See, because you've got this one was released yesterday. This one was the day before. This one was today. So you've got The Rising, My Friendly Neighbor. Like, some of these are absolutely amazing. So, yeah. Hands down, like, I highly, highly, highly recommend Fanatical. Wrong one. Especially like if you're trying to like find things that you want software, everything, because of the way Fanatical works, everything, if it's on your wish list, when people are looking at your wish list, they can see that it's currently on sale and buy it for you. You get an email that has the link because it was purchased off your wish list, they and gives them the option to send a message with it. So yeah, just one of the fun things that, like, being a streamer, being a content creator, everything, having all these things and having the done the work, everything, it's just things to know, because I wish I knew the things that I know about streaming now. I wish it was told to me back when I started. Like, one of the biggest things about streaming is, one, schedule. Two, best time to start streaming was 5 years ago. The second best time is now. Even if it's streaming one day a month, getting into that habit of doing so to see even if you like it, you may not like it. Doing that first one helps you determine, hey, I really enjoy, playing games, or I really want to do VTubing where I'm talking to someone as my character. You know, it helps determine, how you are as a content creator when you are putting your face out. If you're like streaming from PlayStation or Xbox, are you talking enough? Which the answer is 99.9% of the time, no. I love that game. I love that game so much. Hey, Spook, would you like a recommendation? Because this would actually benefit you. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. Spook, go live on TikTok. Thank you for following, Sandra. Uh, I wasn't ignoring you. You were making the because you hate strategy games, and that's okay.
Because my introduction to fucking Final Fantasy was Tactics, and it sucked.
And then you played Final Fantasy 16, and it got better.
Yeah. But because of Tactics, I missed out on 20 years of Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did not like Final Fantasy 7 remake, though.
Yes, I did. I played it. Most of it.
Thought you said you didn't like how the combat system was.
I don't like how most games' combat systems are, to be fair.
Fair. Babyface hates strategy games.
Maybe he hates turn-based bullshit.
And thank you for the follow, TJ. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, Spook, I would suggest um going live on TikTok, and because TikTok has its co-host mode where you can go live with someone and it helps drive engagement, because for some reason the For You feed pushes collabs more than it does when you are uh, live by yourself for some fucking reason. See, I love Tactics because Tactics story is prior to Final Fantasy 8, but after Final Fantasy 6, aka I Despise 7, we all know this. Tactics story, Tactics should have been Final Fantasy 7 if it had an actual combat system. Tactics was a much better story than 7. I'll die on this hill. Like, Ramza's story is amazing. I also just can't stand Cloud. Cloud annoys the piss out of me. There, each one of the rest of the party would have been better main characters than Cloud. Though I do have to say, my favorite, the reason why Final Fantasy VIII is one of my favorites is and for those that have not played Final Fantasy VIII, spoiler, even though the game's been out for 20 fucking years, spoiler, at the end of disc 1, the main character gets shot. And the story after that kind of goes off the rails. Yes, the gunblade mechanic was awesome. So, Lily, did you realize that basically the end after Squall gets shot with the icicle is him grappling with his death? The whole thing is him grappling with his death. Squall is dead from... Yeah. Because everything just seems to go Squall's way, even the time bullshit. Everything after that event, it just happens to go Squall's way. Yeah, Squall's dead. The So Final Fantasy VIII's ending was lackluster. I did not like Final Fantasy VIII's ending because it was an ass pull from hell. But if we're talking about the PlayStation era of mainline Final Fantasy, so 7, 8, and 9, 9 has the best ending. 9 also has some of the best story. Character-wise, not the main character, but just the side characters, I would say 7 has a more compelling cast of characters than 8 or 9. But main characters, I like Squall over Zidane and Cloud. But Zidane is closer to Locke from Final Fantasy VI than Cloud, or who is closer to the PlayStation era's version of Kain, while Squall is closer to Shadow from Final Fantasy VI, with Rinoa being Terra. Be prepared to cry. Be prepared to cry a lot. When I got to the ending of 9, I cried. I was also in high school, but I cried. Thank you for the follow. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I'll butcher it. And thank you for the follow, Laura. yeah, the when it comes to Final Fantasy should make you feel things. Final Fantasy X, Jesus. Auron story, Seymour story, Waka, Lulu, Yuna's, oof. Tidus's entire thing, Jesus. But each of the Final Fantasies should make you feel something. And when it comes to villains, of all the villains in Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VI's Kefka takes the cake. I knew he was Space Jesus. Tidus? It's more like Faith Jesus. Because he's a dream of the faith.
I will send you to Jesus.
I'll send you to Jesus. Shit. Arden is my favorite villain that I've encountered in Final Fantasy.
At least I pretend to be nice to people.
You are nice, Drago. Of all the Final Fantasy characters, whether it's mainline tactics, any of them, only 2 of their villains succeeded in their goals before being stopped. Kefka, Final Fantasy VI, and Arden of Final Fantasy 15. Pain! Lots and lots of pain! Fucking Kefka. Insane fucking clown. I just laugh at the fact that he has the Bowser laugh. Final Fantasy VI has some of the best quips of Final Fantasy. Like, my favorite character of Final Fantasy VI is Locke. I'm not a thief. I'm a treasure hunter. Kinda large, but he didn't charge. Thank you for the dance party, Brock. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, the story of Final Fantasy VI, Kefka succeeds. He succeeds, and he's everyone's problem. Setzer being the airship gambler. Oh my god. Sounds good, Drago. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, so quite literally, when it comes to Final Fantasy, like Terra's story in Final Fantasy VI, Jesus, it's rough. Barrett's story in Final Fantasy VII is hard. Which part are you saying off to? And Vincent's story. Oh my god, Vincent's story. Talk about, rip your rip your heart out. that one was hard to feel. Then you've got like Final Fantasy VIII, where Renoa being the liberator, Squall and Seed, and dealing with Lacuna, like or Laguna, and Oy vey. So those are always fun things to like. Games tell a story, and those stories are important. And like hell, for PlayStation 5, um Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. Oh my god, that story is so good. Story is so good. If you can play Forbidden West, play Forbidden West. If you play Zero Dawn first, play Zero Dawn first, and then play Forbidden West. And by the way, fuck Ted Farrow. Right, baby? Do you know what I said? Lily, would you like to know a slight spoiler about Forbidden West?
Oh, Captain Spoiler.
It's not much of a spoiler.
Oh, Captain Spoiler.
Do 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 do. Why not? It'll take me forever to play it probably. Um, if you get Forbidden West, make sure you get the completed edition, so you can play through the Burning Sands, because it is my favorite part of the game. It is very pertinent to our current life. It If you can sit there and, because a lot of people, when they were playing unfortunately, a lot of games complete editions are almost required to enjoy the story. Yep. Yep. But so the entire story of Forbidden West has a great conclusion. The reason why I say make sure you get the Burning Sands, which is part of the complete edition, all right? There is a very big payoff at the end of Burning Sands that is important. And I'll leave it at that. Huh. Huh. I just realized. I'll say it after stream so I don't reveal, but yeah. Oh, absolutely. And and I love Forbidden West because Forbidden West's story, like the environment is just so pretty. And the like by your third level, by level 3, like, and you're in the second city, you're already taking out Thunderjaws again. Like, easily. Like there's actually an area where you can farm a thunderjaw in the first area. It's fun. It's great. It's rough. Do not get me wrong. It's rough. And I will say this, make sure that you turn on your auto loot. Make sure you turn on your auto loot. All right. Okay. Let's see here. As we're getting closer to 10 o'clock. Brock is on. Drago. Ender. Let's do Drago. And we'll start doing Phenom on Friday. But so my plan on Friday. Um my plan on Friday is I want us to go through the Pokemon announcement. So that means that quite literally, uh, I'll hop on, we'll hang out for a little bit, and then we will react to the Pokemon Day announce, which happens at 9 a.m. Eastern. So, but quite literally, we are going to raid Drago. And since it's almost 10 o'clock, but I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate y'all being here. Love y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. Be safe. And if y'all need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. Y'all are amazing. And we are going to go ahead and raid